So after 11 hours of runtime, I noticed a decrease in quality in my cut between the 11th and 12th hour. And I know I hit a rock on the left side, and that's what this damage is right here. So it's left, middle, right as you're sitting on the machine. And so anyway, as you can see, the edge is, kind of rounded off, and of course that one is damaged. So let's look at the other side real quick. And you can see that on the left side looks like there's a nick in it. The middle blade is acceptable on both ends. There's a little bit of nick in there. And it's definitely, the burr is gone. So I mean, it's dull. And then of course the left side, as you're sitting on it, that's pretty beat up, because I did pick up a rock and spun it around under the deck like a blender. So anyway, it's sharpening time. So there are plenty of videos on sharpening. What I actually recommend is buying new blades and then rotating them out, and that way you can just have a set always ready to go. These blades are rather expensive. When I priced them, they are the OEM blades. So I don't know if you can see that number. It is 0325 3800. So that's the Gravely number for the 52-inch deck. So blades are measured diagonally like a television. So we have 18 inches by 2.5 and a 5/8 hole. Blade choices are USA blade, Gator, any 18-inch by 2.5 by 5/8 blade that you can find at Home Depot or Lowe's or something, and Gravely using their number. Which these blades are rather expensive. You think it's just a piece of flat bar or something that's bent up and sharpened, but I'd say they run anywhere from $15 to $25 depending on who you get them from. So they're well worth sharpening a couple of times. So I'm going to use a grinder. Normally I use a hand file. However, over the years I've become proficient with a grinder. Remember, a grinder will remove metal faster, where if you just have a file, you're removing a little bit of metal at a time, and a file works great. I mean, you can really get these things ridiculously sharp. I mean, ridiculously sharp. So, but with a grinder, as your skill level increases and you become more confident, you can hold this angle right here. What I like to do is I like to hit the back side and make it smooth again, so it's got a nice edge on it, and then bring it back in here. So before I check the balance, I haven't sharpened these yet, but before I check the balance, I'm going to scrape off the grass that has adhered itself to the blade. I don't want to bias my reading, and I'm not looking, this isn't a propeller on an airplane, but I am looking for some degree of accuracy, if not some degree of precision. So anyway, alright, now we take our handy dandy balancer and place it on here, and look to see if there is a heavy side. Alright, well, I got lucky. Oh yeah, one more thing is you just keep the angle straight. If you'll notice on the original cut, you'll see some wavy lines in there, and what you can do is you can just bring them down until they're gone. Use them as a guide to make sure you're on the correct angle, and you see how it folds out here. It doesn't come straight out. It just runs out in a fashion where it looks like the wheel came up this way that they used to manufacture it with. So it came up and out as it went through the machine. And I like this angle of cut. I don't know what the gator blades give you. I guess those spikes there in the back, I guess it's has like a mulching feature. Well, I don't know. I don't have any issues, so I'm not going with them. And one last thing as far as blade choice, whether I go with like USA blades or off-brand or OEM, it's I don't know. I'll probably go with OEM initially, and then experiment around with like USA blades or something like that. Just because I'm Amazon Prime and it's just so easy to get. I think it's less than $40 for 3 of them for USA blades. So I just might try those out. All right, blade number 2. All right, let me see if I can screw up the last one and show you how to balance it. All right, number 3. Well, I don't know, maybe this side is a little heavier. Alright, this side is a little bit heavier, so I could lighten it up a little bit, take a little bit more material off of it, and get this side to balance out. I have such a nice edge on there, I'm kind of reluctant to take material off, but I did, and if you look, you can see how I took a little bit of material off here. I noticed there was a little nick there, so I kind of took material off to dig out that nick a little bit and bring that edge a little bit sharper. I mean, that edge is really nice. So I didn't really want to take the whole length off of it. So we'll get the Gravely back together, and using standard bolts, I decided that the 15/16 socket fit the blade bolt the best. I'm pretty sure 24mm would also work. I actually tried the 24mm. It was just a little bit, had a little bit of slop in it, a little bit more than this. This is the 15/16. So that's what I'm using. And the reason I went with standard is I checked the threads. I have a thread checker, and it came out as standard, not metric. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Just remember, these are very heavy machines. So this is the 52-inch, which means it's 850 pounds. When it tips the scale, of course, you're not lifting that much when you jack up the front. All the weight's kind of in the back there. But use jack stands, use chocks, get you one of those lifts, if you will. Just be safe.